Hello, loves, and welcome to the Introverts Toolbox, the podcast for introverts who feel like the world's kind of fucked up, where the biggest and craziest people get all the success, and we're left wondering, like, oh my god, what the hell do we do? My name's Karen Hewitt, and I am your host, and we're going to go over systems, methods, and skills you can use as an introvert to be authentically you and be successful. So, subscribe and share this on your social media, and don't forget to give us 5 stars, and let's get started.
Hello, my love. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. This is your host, Karen Hewitt, and we're going to start diving into some mindset stuff. Because you know what? Introverts, we are fully capable of doing amazing things. We just have to believe it. So today we're going to talk about the capacity of the mind. And I'm going to give you some examples and some things to maybe open up your mind to grow a little bit more. So my first example I'm going to give you is, do you know how many people suffer from brain injuries? So many people suffer, and they will even have an entire hemisphere of their brain removed. So they literally have half a brain, whether this be from birth defect, injury, illness, or other things. So they'll either have the right or the left hemisphere. And a lot of these individuals, they continue to go on to have a good relationship, good work, go to school, get good jobs, get married, have kids, all these things without any major recourse. They may have some challenges in some areas, but they're able to overcompensate with their brain to make it happen. So if they're doing that with only 50% of their brain and still managing to maintain an average normal life, what would happen if we actually used more of our brain power? And I'm trying to tell you this to make you go, oh, fuck. What am I missing out on? What am I not talking about? What am I not doing? How is my mindset affecting me? What am I not putting myself into effect for? Another example is the first 5 years of a kid's life. And trust me, I know this. I have kids. I have 2 of them are in this age group right now. And this is the subconscious brain. This is where they are learning by growing, and they are just doing everything completely naturally, completely organically. And they're like little siphons. I mean, like literally, they suck your energy dry, they suck everything around them, and they use this to grow and develop and become more than. So I'm going to encourage you to have a childlike curiosity with everything and start learning. And the third, now, this is a really interesting science experiment I'm going to tell you about, and it's the Mousy experiment. I don't know if you heard this. Now, this is, oh my gosh, this was so fucked up. But they did it, and I'm not a fan of cruelty to animals, but this was cruel, this was unusual, this was bullshit, but it did teach us something. Basically, this university took a ton of mice, and they rang a bell, ding, ding, you've heard Pavlov's bell, and then they electrocuted the mouse, like, zzz. And so the mice, now when they heard the ding, ding, ding of the bell, they'd start to jump because they'd expect to be electrocuted. Now these mice, they went and bred, and they had more mice, and again, ding, 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 zzz. And of course, they'd learn ding, 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 zzz, electrocution. They'd jump. Third generation is again, they bred these mice again, and ding, 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 zzz, and they jumped. This electrocution was a continual thing. Now, when the 4th generation happened, these had babies, they went ding, 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 and all the mice went, ah! No electrocution. It had become an inbred notion that a ding meant electrocution. So they carried it on. So what you teach your brain stays with you at a core level. You're like, oh my God, like this, like I said, fucked up. We're going to electrocute mice and make them jump. And then the next one, we're just going to ding at them. And so they think they're going to get electrocuted. I'm not telling you to go get electrocuted. I mean, that would be ridiculous. But what I am telling you is, 1, you are capable of conditioning your mind to do great things. 2, you are not using your entire potential. And I'm not saying this to be mean or hateful or hurtful in any way. What I'm telling you is, if you have a dream, you have a goal, you have a desire, you have something you want to do, then guess what? You can do it. You just have to take this brain of yours and put it into action and make it happen. And 3, Einstein said, the day you stop learning is the day you die. I don't want your brain to die. I want your brain to be completely capable. I want your brain to be exploding with knowledge, insight, information, and growth. And I'm going to talk to you from a very personal point of view here. I have what's called a traumatic brain injury. I was in a domestic violence situation, as you heard on episode 2. And one of the things he did is he caused me to have a TBI. And that did mess up my neurological pathways. And I could have chosen for that to just fuck me up for the rest of my life, not be able to learn, not be able to grow, not be able to do anything. But instead, I'm applying myself. I applied myself into neurolinguistics. I'm currently in the process of going back to school and getting my neuroscience degree. There's a lot of steps. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be graduating anytime soon because I'm a mom, I'm a business owner. But these are things I am growing my neural pathways and increasing my neuroplasticity. And when you increase your neuroplasticity by doing things, you can actually take away the incoming things like Alzheimer's, dementia. I'm not saying it's a cure. I'm just saying it can help. This is why puzzles are an important part of your life. This is why puzzles, you need to grow. You need to do things like this. You need to read. You need to occupy your brain with things that help you grow and develop. So what does this mean for you? Well, first of all, I'm going to we talked about the kids and how they just take everything in and how subconsciously those mouths would get electrocuted and how people with half a brain still come in. This is the honest truth. 95% of your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, your beliefs are governed by the subconscious brain. You do not make an effort inside your brain to do half things. You do not make an effort to breathe. Breathing is something that's natural for you. Okay, this just happens organically. Certain activities you do, certain mannerisms, certain tics, they happen organically. But this also goes with how you think about life. For example, did you know that 4 out of 5 lottery winners that become millionaires are bankrupt again within 5 years? Because their subconscious brain has taught them how to be poor, how to live in poverty. So what they do is they try and get rid of the money as quickly as possible, so that way they're uncomfortable with wealth. This is something that is governed by your subconscious brain. So based on this, I'm going to take you back to Dr. Joe Dispenza. He actually wrote this thing where he wanted you to think about your brain like a computer. And if you had to do something, you have the choice of using a free program, which might be a bit basic, okay? But it gets the job done. It just wouldn't be as great as if you've got the proper professional product to make it happen. So our brains are kind of wired the same way. We have a capacity, but the capacity is not based on what our brains can do. It is based on the information that you put in them. So let's say you have a goal to make 6 figures a year, but your brain is pre-wired to only make 50,000. Because you've given yourself, 50,000 is a good wage. This is what I'm capable of. I went to school. The average person who goes to school for my degree makes 52,000. That's what I'm going to make. We put all these obstacles and mindset dilemmas into our brain that actually prevent us from reaching past that 52,000 to the 200, because every time we do something to step into that larger amount, we sabotage ourselves. We tell ourselves we're not worthy. We tell ourselves we're not capable. We tell ourselves this isn't going to happen. We tell ourselves that we don't have the money to invest to get the clients. We tell ourselves that we need to go back to school and do something. We tell ourselves all these different obstacles, which actually sabotages us. And it's because of this predisposed notion that we've put in our brain. You don't even know you're doing it. That is the craziest thing. It depends on your surroundings. And this is why we have 2 different types of people. Let's say 2 people grow up on the same street with same parents, making the same amount of money. One person is going to think, well, this is how my life's always going to be. I'm never going to make more. I'm never going to be more. I'm just going to be happy, content with my lot. If I can get a house, I'm good. If I can get a job, I'm good. If I have kids, I'm good. And they've put all the basic minimums that their parents had as their mindset. That's the goal. All they want is the basic minimum that they saw growing up. So even as they're growing up and going through the things, they may sabotage themselves in school. Well, you know what? I only want this, so I don't need to do great in this class. Or, I only want this, so I don't need to do this extracurricular. Well, I only want this as a family, so I don't need to go and look for this. I don't need to follow my dreams. And these are predisposed notions that we put. Then you have the other person that's like, fuck this shit. I ain't going to do this. I can't stand this. This is pissing me off. I know I deserve more. I'm going to do more. Okay, so my parents made 60,000. How am I going to make 200,000? Oh, great. A surgeon makes 200,000 a year. I'm going to be a fucking surgeon and everyone can get out of my way. And that's what I'm going to do. The difference with the second person to the first person is they decided to expand their brain from the subconscious training that they had throughout their youth to bring other ideas in. So this person's expanded their brain past their subconscious to bring new ideas, new thoughts, thinking outside the box and adding things into their brain set. What they're doing is taking their brain from what it normally functions and adding 1%, 2%. If you just add 1 or 2% more to your life, you can achieve so much more. Now, as an introvert, We are always told what we are and are not capable of. And this is why I'm telling you this, because we're expressed that we have to do certain things in order to remain in our introverted world. We're not supposed to be the successful entrepreneur that is on the stage yelling, screaming, dancing, doing all these. We're not supposed to be doing videos or podcasts. We're not supposed to be living life loud. But here's the thing. Introvert is just how you recharge. It is nothing to do with what you are capable of or what you are not capable of. So what I need you to think of is how can you take 1% more to do the things that you want, but still respect that you're an introvert and then recharge. If you want to speak on stage, go speak on stage and then just say, all right, in my schedule, I am putting time after I've been on stage to recharge, read a book, have a bubble bath, relax in my room. Just respect your boundaries, still do what you know. If you want to achieve more, learn more. If you want to do more, grow more. Now, yes, this is a little bit more of my high upbeat, like in your face podcast, because I truly believe that if you're not willing to put the effort in to grow, then you can't complain about where you are at. And the biggest challenge we face as an introvert is other people trying to shove us in the box that we can only do certain things at certain times in certain ways. Well, I'm telling you right now, you now have permission to do whatever the fuck you want. Do it however you want. Respect your boundaries as an introvert, recharge, but go out there and get success. Just because you're an introvert does not mean that you cannot be a powerful leader. Just because you are an introvert does not mean you cannot have a great business. Look at, I was going to say, Gates and Jobs, they are both introverts. Did they make money? Did they succeed? Hell yes. But did they do it by being inauthentic? No, they stayed authentic to themselves. Yes, they spoke on stage. Yes, they did the videos. Yes, they did the interviews. I guarantee they went back in their office and went, fuck off, and everyone leave me the hell alone while I recharge my internal battery and get myself ready for the next thing I need to do. So I'm telling you, you're capable. You can use your brain power. I doubt any of us are ever going to use 100% of it. There's like theories out there that if we used 100%, we'd all have telekinesis and be like limitless and all this kind of shit. But I want to challenge you to do 1% more. So read a book, watch a TEDx, learn something, pick up a skill. I mean, hell, if even if it's just you want to learn to crochet, do something to adapt your neural pathways to grow a little bit more. So this has just been a huge, like, hey, this is what you're capable for. But what I want to know is one thing you're going to take away from this episode today to grow, to learn, to develop, to add into your toolbox, to make your life better, because you are capable of it. And just because you're an introvert does not mean you need to be in that box. Ta-ra for now.
And thank you for listening to another episode of the Introverts Toolbox. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you know what? I want to know, what is one thing you learned today? Is there something that you're going to take and use in your life or your business? Let me know below.